Welcome to the Swine Nutrition Black Belt Podcast, the latest swine nutrition research digested for you. My name is Clayton Chastain, your host for today's episode. Today we have with us Dr. Sung-Woo Kim, a swine nutrition professor at North Carolina State University. So, Dr. Kim, would you mind telling us about these studies?
Sure, yes. Okay, I'll start with a brief history of my research first and then move to the main topic here. During the last 7 to 8 years, we have investigated the understanding of intestinal health from nursery pigs with different dietary interventions. And we targeted nursery pigs because weaning stress gives tremendous intestinal challenges to them. And that is related to growth reduction after weaning. And we've done almost 45 to 50 individual studies evaluating different dietary interventions, such as prebiotics or probiotics and postbiotics, also antioxidants or functional amino acids, enzymes and acidifiers, and also including feed processing and so on. And in all those studies, we measured the same intestinal health parameters and also measured changes in the mucus-associated microbiota in the jejunum. And in these studies, we euthanized all the pigs in order to measure or quantify intestinal health parameters using mucosal tissues in the jejunum of the small intestine. So this includes jejunal tissues from over 2,400 nursery pigs, which I think may be one of the largest collection that I know in pigs. And we are interested in what happens in the jejunum. And to evaluate intestinal health, we measured inflammation in the jejunum, oxidative stress in the jejunum, and mucus-associated microbiota in the jejunum, and humoral immune response in the jejunum, epithelial integrity in the jejunum, and cell proliferation in the crypt of the jejunum, and nutrient digestibility, and finally, growth efficiency of nursery pigs. And specifically, we measured pro-inflammatory cytokines, including TNF-alpha, IL-8, and IL-6, and we measured oxidative damage products such as protein carbonyls and malondialdehyde. And for the humoral immune response, we measured immunoglobulin A and G. And microbiome sequencing was done at the phylum, family, genus, and species levels in order to obtain the diversity and the relative abundance. And nutrient utilization was measured with the ileal digestibility. And we also used immunohistochemistry to identify newly proliferating cells in the crypt of the jejunum. And all the pigs used in these projects had a very similar genetic backgrounds and same source and also very similar environment. So when I look back all these studies we had, I realized that there can be a great opportunity to combine all the results and have thorough understanding of intestinal health of pigs. And this was possible because the procedures and the measurement were very similar or same among these studies. So we had a result from the same measurement. And so based on this, since 2019, we started putting all data together and tried the meta-analysis. And we had more than 1 million data points in this data set. And the result from the meta-analysis were actually very fantastic. And most of these measurements had significant correlations to growth efficiency of pigs. And most likely, each correlations fitted very well to multiphasic regressions, providing a breakpoint. And from these multiphasic regressions with breakpoints, I can identify threshold levels of parameters, and so I can provide reference values for the healthy intestine. Also, we identified the impacts of these parameters above the threshold levels on the growth efficiency of pigs. And we are presenting the results from this work in the upcoming conferences and symposiums. and we will show the effective biomarkers for intestinal health and how to use those biomarkers, and also to show that we can predict growth efficiency using these intestinal health biomarkers. If you ask me for the next step, what we are doing is actually we are constructing a simulation model. We combine all these regressions showing the relationships of 20 to 30 intestinal health biomarkers to growth efficiency of nursery pigs, or among those biomarkers. And using this kind of simulation model, I think we can monitor health of pigs at a commercial farm, and also we may be able to pinpoint what problems they have in terms of intestinal health. And hopefully, we can provide the solution to handle that issues. That is our ultimate goal. Okay? So thank you, Clayton.
Yeah, absolutely. So based on what you've discovered so far, what would you say would be the best recommendation for producers right now? Is that really clear, or is that going to need some more research first?
So Clayton, we had when I say intestinal health biomarkers, those are including the cytokines and oxidative damage products, and many gut measurements. And since we had enough data points from a large number of pigs from their intestinal tissues, luckily, we were able to see that all those measurements had a very significant correlations with the productivity of the pigs. So I think rather than pointing out only a few biomarkers that are effective for the relation to the growth efficiency of pigs, I think we need to combine all these biomarkers together because they are working each other and working together. So I think the more comprehensive understanding of those markers, how they are related to the growth of pigs, are more practical. So I don't know if I answered it well.
Gotcha. So before we finish up, is there anything else you'd like to add?
So once we have a simulation model to make this really usable, we need help from the producers, allowing us to go there and then have access to the samples. So we can do like monitor. We can monitor their health status if they allow us to come in. Right? So I think that is a fundamental relationship that I need to have for the success of the use of this simulation model.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on the show. And to everyone else, thank you for listening to the Swine Nutrition Black Belt podcast. Please be sure to visit us at swinenutritionblackbelt.com and be sure to subscribe to our podcast channel so you won't miss out on the latest episode. See you next week. Hey everyone, we're always searching for the latest and greatest research to share each week. If you have a swine nutrition related research trial and would like to come on the show to talk about it and share with us, feel free to send an email to nutritionblackbelt@swineit.com and we would love to take a look at your research.